Being a perfectionist is the worst thing that can happen to a person. You never live. Like when I lost that 106 pounds in like 2.5 months, whatever it took me, that was the biggest trophy of my entire life. I didn't care if I graduated Navy SEAL training. I didn't care. What I just accomplished in that time frame, it's massive.
Yeah.
I don't know. There was no trainer. There was no like. It was funny about this. We talk about mental toughness nowadays. It's like the biggest crave. When I grew up, it was just suck it up.
Yeah.
It was just make it happen.
Yeah.
You had to figure out. It was called figure it out, man. And all these nuggets that I gained along the way, that's what it was about.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't about the trident. It wasn't about all those daggone medals. It wasn't about any of that. And that's why I hate even talking about being a SEAL, you know. I mentioned stories. People, why talk about it didn't define me.
Mm-hmm.
The journey getting there was harder than going through it.
Yeah.
You know? So that's the whole thing about life, man. It's that journey that makes you who you are.
Yeah. And as opposed to focusing on did I win or not,
Right.
what did I gain from the last 12 years?
Right.
And
Exactly.
so when you finish now, what do you think about? How long do you reflect back on the effort it took to accomplish that race or
A long time.
Was
A
days,
long time. Weeks, years.
You'll
years.
reflect on it.
I reflect back now. There's times now where I will reflect back on my first 100-mile race.
Still today.
Still today. And it'll give me the same exact feeling. Because what I did in that first race, when I was undertrained, I did it on 4 days' notice. I hadn't run more than, I think, 20 miles the whole year. And I did it to raise money for his foundation. to try to get in the bad water. What I had to pull out of myself on that last, so that's where that book, Live with the SEAL, kind of originated. Jesse Itzler saw me at this race.
He was racing too.
Yeah, but he did it as a team.
Right, you did it alone.
I did it alone.
Yeah.
And that's what I talk with people about, man. I spent so much time. People always like, why do you run so much? You try to get in shape. No, the things I do in life, most of life, you're alone. You may have a whole support crew around you, but up here, you're alone. Most of the stuff I do, I'm training for those moments. Those moments when I was at mile 70 and I had 30 more miles to go and I crapped up my back and peeing blood down my leg and I had 30 miles to go. There's only so much someone cheering can do for you. When you start to dive back in the cellar of your mind and you're pulling out all these tactics, all these mental tactics to get through this 30 miles when you're in the worst shape of your life and no one's coming to save you and you get through that. I want to go back there. Like when I got done with that race, I laid in the tub and my ex-wife helped me get up the stairs. And I'm laying in this tub and Coca-Cola's coming out of me. Just looks like dirt. And she's a nurse and she's freaking out. And she puts the shower on me and I'm looking at her. And all I want to do is call the race director up of Badwater saying I qualify for the race. And she's thinking we gotta go to the hospital. So she's calling my mom, and my mom has a doctor friend of hers who's over, and they're freaking out. And I said, everybody, just shut up.
Wow.
Shut up. I'm in the worst pain of my entire life, and no one would ever understand this. No one. When you've gone that deep inside yourself, and all those feelings of pain that I had, I was in the worst pain of my life. Ever. And some people think, man, you're just crazy. No. When you've done that and you've figured out so much on your own and all that pain and discomfort I had in that tub laying there, passing out, everything was confirmation of what I just figured out. I just figured out the code. I figured out a code that many people aren't looking for. And I want it to be known. I want that feeling. This was confirmation. This was like a scientist's notes. Mm-hmm. The notes were here. The notes were all this feeling. It was a confirmation. And no one at that time could understand what I just done. I cracked the code to human potential in myself. And I was still like, oh my God, like this is unbelievable what I just did. So it's that quiet place. Wow. It's that place by yourself. It's those hours and years and decades by yourself in the grip of life. When life has you by the throat and choking you out, and you're sitting there calm because you're trying to figure it out. You're not panicking. You're not quitting. You're not throwing in the towel. You're saying there's a way around it. And when you figure it out, when life has you gripped in a vice, and you can figure that out, that's when you overcome. Mm. That's when you overcome. And that's why that one moment for me in that tub, I didn't want anyone to take away from me.
Wow. Crazy, man, I love this. Do you have any fears today?
I do have a lot of fears today. But it's hard for me to call them fears anymore.
Yeah.
I don't use that word anymore. They're almost like it's another challenge.
Yeah.
Because anything that makes me feel that fear feeling, it's going to get overcome.
You go do it.
It's going to get conquered. That's almost like fear is my ultimate guide.
Of where you're supposed to be
going.
Of
where I'm supposed to be going.
Yeah.
It's my ultimate guide. So
what's the big challenge then for you then?
The biggest challenge for me is always going. I want to be comfortable.
You want to be comfortable.
Yeah.
You want to sleep in a nice bed and relax.
I'm a normal human being.
You want to chill out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I want, and the time is going to come. It's time for everybody to get civilized. The worst thing in life that happens to a man is they get civilized, or a woman, anybody.
Yeah.
Because you lose the hunger for life.
Uh-huh.
You think you've arrived, and once you have I've arrived mentality, that's my biggest fear. Is I get to the point where I'm at that point where life has come to me, and I have that feeling of I've arrived. I now know my life, for what I know it to be, is over. Even though that's where comfort is and everything else, I found the most life in the most uncomfortable places in the world. I was the most David, the Goggins that I invented, because David Goggins was weak. Mm. I never want to get rid of Goggins. The guy I created, that weak person that used to be, the guy I created that can handle anything. You don't want to let go of that guy because you realize that guy was made. You weren't born him. Mm. And that is, when you get comfortable, Goggins starts to die. He starts to die. That one creature from the Black Lagoon that can live in the sewer, that can eat rats all day, that doesn't need water, that doesn't need sunlight, that doesn't need nothing. He can just live because he knows he can. That's a powerful human being that you never want to. It's in everybody. That's the scary thing about.
Hello guys, first things first, thank you all for watching this video. I hope you have a good and a productive day. And today's advice is of course linked to the video, like always, and it's about self-improvement, pushing through, motivation, you know, all that good stuff. And it sounds like this: make the grind personal. And to be honest with you guys, and to be honest with anyone who's on self-improvement, us guys who are on self-improvement, we didn't start in a good moment of our lives. Most of us just make this change because something bad happened to us, you know, because you just can't live your life like the bad habit life, you know, the procrastinating life, and at some point, at some day you wake up and you say, I think I will change my life. It's not really working like this. Like, you live that life and something bad happened to you, and that's why you make this choice. And I believe we all should remember why we made this choice, why we choose the self-improvement, why we choose the sacrifice, the hard work, the things that are not so, I don't know, like pleasure to do, you know. And yeah, that's why you should make the grind personal. You should take control, you should remember where you started, and maybe you should feel the rage. I believe rage is a powerful word and it's not appropriate to this, but something like rage, you know, something like, bro, I jumped into this because I wanted to change my life, and that energy needs to be filled and needs to be circling in you, it needs to be fulfilling you, to give you some kind of purpose, to give you some kind of motivation, because in the end, at the start of everything, you get motivated, but on the progress, on the road there, you become disciplined. And this is the beautiful thing about self-improvement. Like, we all start from level 1, we all got through some bad stuff, and we want to change our lives, and we want to make progress and do the good habits and make a good life of this. And yeah, this is the good thing, and the progress is equal to your motivation, to your purpose, to all that good stuff, you know. And you make so much progress in so less time, and this all depends on what type of mindset and mentality, like, they are the same, but you understand what I'm saying. On what type of mindset do you set from the beginning? So yeah, this is all for today. I hope you have a good and a productive day. And until I catch you in the next one, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, because it helps me a lot. And watch this video over here, because this one is a powerful one. Peace.